Welcome to Sincerely Japan, the drifting podcast.
Okay, episode 2, and we're back with Darius and me talking about a bunch of bullshit. And, I was thinking about this when I was driving over here. Podcasts are the only thing where you say what episode it is before you start the episode. Like, you never watching Grey's Anatomy and they're like, episode 97, Johnson's fucking dying. You know what I mean? Like, they never start off with the number. It's only podcast. Because I was thinking, and I was overthinking it, admittedly, but I was driving and I was like, fuck, man. I was like, do I say episode or do I just like jump right into the content? And I think I'm going to jump right into the content because I think when you just start and you're like, episode 2005, it, like, you know what I mean? Nobody cares what episode number it is.
I think they do. It's a signifier of how long you've been doing it.
When it's significant, though.
Yeah.
If it's like, all right, and this is episode 100, thanks for sticking around. But it's not. It's episode 2.
We're going to look back on this episode as a milestone in our podcasting career.
They're going to look at the podcast list, and it's going to be episode 1, episode 2, and that's it. I wonder which one's which. So that's that, man. So Darius and I both wrote down a bunch of topics that we're going to talk about. So I really just want to start off and point out that October 15th is National Latino AIDS Awareness Day.
What? Where'd you get that from?
So I didn't know that was a thing.
Okay.
But it's a thing, and I found significance in that.
It's also November now, so we missed it.
I wrote these notes over a month ago.
Shout out to all my Latino AIDS survivors. Stay strong. I'm going to pour some Chuhai out for you.
It really is. It's such a specific holiday, I think, is why it's...
I don't think it's a holiday.
No, holiday's the wrong word.
Qualify as a holiday.
An awareness day. God. Yeah, I think it's just because of how specific it is, you know? Like, I think we have AIDS Awareness Day.
Yeah.
But then Latinos were like, no,
everybody wants
we
a day, dude.
We need our own.
This is going too political already.
We're going too political. I dug myself into a hole. All right, anyways, if you stuck around after that, thank you. So I wanted to backpedal a little bit. Last episode, we're sending shots at Daigo Saito. We, as in me.
You!
Yeah, I was. And I wanted to backtrack a little bit because I was thinking about it and I was watching more videos that he just happened to be in, and I was like, you know what? I'm a little wrong. I'm a little bit wrong. But only for D1.
Well, as far as Daigo Saito goes, the reason why I can't say he's overrated is because any videos I've ever seen him in, and granted I don't speak Japanese, but he never like talks. He just shows up, drives, he'll say like a couple things and just leaves. So he's probably one of the more like low-key, humble drifters. I mean, he's a great driver, obviously, but he just gets in there and gets it done. So I mean,
that's true. I think it's more just his professional setups and like his D1 and FD competitions that I don't like, because whenever you watch grassroots videos of him, he's insane. I mean, how many Ebisu Minami videos have you seen of him jumping into that huge straight, you know? And there's videos, and it's not even like, yeah, he's had the famous one where he's in the Chaser, the JZX100, but he even has his practice car. I think it's a JZX 90. But he has so many videos of him just tearing that wall up all the time. And so I know he's a great driver. So I want to preface that and say, and backpedal only a little bit so that people don't think I'm completely ignorant.
Well, I mean, on that note, I think, I don't remember what I said last time. I was like 2.5 Chuhais in. But I remember I said something about Von Gittin Jr. Like, I was like, I used to like him, but I don't really like him. I mean, granted, I don't really care. I mean, he's just a driver. I did see that he got one of those Ford GTs, one of those new ones, and that's pretty awesome.
For his competition car?
No, for just his everyday car.
Just whatever, daily driver.
You know how they gave those out?
No.
You had to like audition to get one. So like you had to send in like an application like, this is why I deserve to get a Ford GT.
And then you probably still had to pay for it, right?
Yeah, but
that's like,
he has a privilege of getting one. Dude, you hear what happened to John Cena?
No.
He got one and flipped it. And then Ford was like, we're suing you. And then it's sold again already, so that's crazy.
They sued John Cena.
Yeah, because it was like in the agreement, like, you're going to buy this car to use it for fun, and you're not allowed to resell it for profit. And
oh, you mean flipped it for money?
Yeah.
I thought you meant he wrecked the car, and then Ford was like, nah, fam. And so they sued him for crashing it. And I was like, that's some bullshit, though.
But, I mean, if you think about it, so someone as big as him, you get into one of those Ford GTs where you can only move the steering wheel and the pedal, or the pedal box. You can't move the seat. Someone as big as him, he probably got in and was like, nope, and had to sell it. But
that's true.
I mean, that's outside the realm of drifting. But
he's invisible, though.
Just see a Ford GT driving down the street. Like, what the?
Shoot. Yeah, that got out of hand pretty quick.
I mean...
No, it didn't. It made a logical turn. But no, so I wanted to preface it with that. And we'll just kind of jump right into it. So this episode... actually, last episode, I came up with all of the topics, and I kind of blindsided Darius. And now he kind of took the lead and was like, hey, man, I got some stuff. And so I was like, don't tell me to keep it authentic or whatever. So,
okay.
He told me these like 5 seconds ago.
So as far as topics, I'm going to hit what I consider to be like the big three. Stuff that I'm always thinking about. I wouldn't say the big three. Anyway, so I want to start with drifting style. Like, what is your favorite drifting style? Now, what are the different drifting styles? Like, if you think about it. So I know you have like, I don't know if they all have names, but there's like the weight shift style where you kind of like throw it one way and let it come back the other way.
You're talking about techniques, like your favorite technique, or
yeah,
like
like
your favorite
technique, like favorite way of seeing someone drive, not like low style or like high power or I don't know what are the other styles or something. Anyway,
that's it.
As far as technique, what's your favorite technique to see someone do on track?
I like the 8.6 guys that do all the weight shifting.
Yeah. And
like they literally just rip the wheel the opposite direction and then just boom, and then they're in it.
Well, you really don't have one option with an 8.6 because there's no power. So
exactly.
You have to do it that way.
And I think that's more fun. But I think it's just nice to watch that style because you see e-brake initiations all the time.
Yeah.
And so it's cool just to see these guys like not even touch it, and it's just all steering wheel and pedal, you know. So it's cool, like, and it's a different style of driving. If you ask any 8.6 driver, like they'll tell you it's different. It feels more like power sliding than drifting, just because of the way the car is set up.
Yeah. I would think that that's one of the first styles you should probably learn, as far as like getting to grips with sliding a car, because. For me, when I had that Skyline, it had more than enough power to where I could just smash it and it would go. It would just start sliding. And I never learned that weight shift style. That's probably why I crashed into a tree. Because like I just hitting clutch and just smashing it and fucking didn't control the way that it was moving. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out my ass, but yeah, maybe I should have started more low power or something. No turbo, like what you did with the Altezza. Like,
dude, that car's awesome.
You didn't have any power to play with, so you kind of had to, learn how to make it slide.
Yeah.
As far as drifting style, it's kind of crappy, but my favorite style is like what you said, the weight shift style. And I seen a Noriyaro video. I want to say it's called Sanpatsu style. It was like a contest where the contest was you had to do the 3-point. So you throw it to one side of the straight, flick it back to the other side, and that's when you start the drift. So I think they call it like 3-way motion or 3-body motion. So like so if you're going down straight and it's a right hand turn, you flick it right and then come back left and then throw the weight and then go around the right turn. So that style is always really cool for me to see, which you don't see it a lot in competition because they're following so close that you don't have enough room to really like throw it and flick it, because the person behind you be like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, exactly.
So you never get to see it in competition, but you always see it in street drifting because that's it just looks better.
Yeah,
like especially when you could throw it right up next to a curb or next to a freaking guardrail or something. That's
real wild style to me. When you use the whole road like that, because a lot of guys, I mean, we already talked about it, but when you rely on your e-brake, you can just start from the outside, e-brake in, and then you go in. But when you're like, I call it wild style because you're just like the whole road. It's like, boom, he goes over here, and then he comes back, and then he shifts again, and so. Yeah, like you said, when you chase, like you can't follow that as easily as you could follow just like a simple e-brake entry.
Yeah, it's pretty unpredictable. So yeah, and I don't know as far as judging if they look down on that type of style, because But it's a valid technique.
Think about Forrest Wang though, dude. He used to get criticized so much for like because he would do too much angle.
Yeah,
that was a big thing, and they were like, "Oh, well, he used too much angle and he scrubbed too much speed," and so we gave it to the other guy. I think they do the same thing, like so they kind of discourage. Hey, Jongbin is back. She went on our alcohol run. This is actually the first time
she got
that.
me Red Bull.
Oh man,
she got me 2 Red Bulls. It's over, dude. It's done.
What?
I thought you were gonna bring it too.
Oh, do you want a Red Bull?
I mean, shoot. I won't turn down a Red Bull. Thank you. So this episode is a little bit different than most. So, well, a little bit different than the last one, I guess. We only have 2. Darius just tried to throw this plastic bag like Jay style, and it went reverse. Like it didn't even go straight down. It went back towards him, basketball style. Anyways, yeah. So he and I are actually just hanging out in person right now. Last time we were doing it over a phone call, and so we can kind of see and hear each other a little bit better. When he was telling his story about crashing his car, I saw a real tear fall down.
Oh my god! Did I miss that car? Don't bring it up. It's too. I only had that car for like 3 months, and I lost it. I don't want to keep bringing that up though. Let's move past it. Have you ever totaled a car?
We're never gonna move past it. My wife has totaled a car.
Really?
I have not.
Did she total like a nice car?
No,
or was it just like
we had a B5 Passat wagon. That car was cool though. I liked it until she wrecked it, and then everything sort of messed up. We actually still drove it. You are just spilling shit everywhere.
It's fine. I just want to keep it away from the mic.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, drifting style. Hit me with something. I know you got something.
Well, I thought when you said drifting style, I thought you were talking about
like of car.
No, I thought you meant like tandems versus because when you said that, I immediately thought of like trains, right? Like 3 or more cars, or like 360 entry stuff where you can't really do it in a train.
Yeah.
And those were like the only 2 that I thought of, and I was like, well, I don't know. Or just like I guess single or doubles, but.
Well, I mean, I would think of it another way to think of it is style of car. So the big thing in Japan, and I remember last time you asked me like, what's the next trend? And I think the next trend is going to be how low can you have your car and still make it like drift worthy.
Dude, I was thinking the opposite. Really? I think the next fad's actually be raising shit up.
Really?
I do.
Well, I see a lot of people running like real high in the front and then kind of lower squatted in the rear, which I assume is better for getting traction on the rear. Yeah. But that's more like professional style, I would say. I've seen a couple of dudes running it in the streets, but I feel like low style is like really big right now.
Low style is big for like that for style. Yeah. But if I find that most serious drifters here that actually want to get good, they have like super high ride heights and like super grippy tires, and everything is set up. Yeah. I think a lot of people saw the Abo Moon videos.
Dude, don't get me started. I was about to bring that
I know. Up. And then he's all like, oh, it's hard to drift when it's low, but it looks good. Yeah. And everybody's like, oh man, that's me. I want to be that person. But it's like, so many people in Japan don't care about that. Like if you go to events, like you'll see some cars that are nice and low and like, flush or whatever, and they drift them. But I would say at least half are like high ride height, fully functional cars.
Well, I think it's because if you run that low style, every event you're losing some sort of bumper or fender. It's not, like he said, it's hard to do, but it looks so good. There's this guy that I follow. I think his Instagram is Take ER34. It's a white ER34 with it looks like it has a GTR body kit, and it says like revenge on the front window. You know what I'm talking about? Dude. It was on Super Street Magazine.
Yeah, I do.
That car is amazing. It looks right, but they're so slow. If you ever watch the videos of them actually drifting, like they'll do one big sweeping drift, and that's it. Everything else is like, so they save it all up for one. So yeah, the low style, they're not competitive or fast, but they really embody that style of drifting. Like they look so good while they're doing it. Yeah, and it's about fun at the end of the day. I mean, not every car has to be a competition car, and nobody really, especially nowadays with the level of competition, you can't really afford to do that. Like. Yeah, so.
No, I think you're right. I mean, I think this low style is going to be around for a while longer.
I hope it stays forever.
I don't know, man. Everything comes and goes. I was just looking today. One of my friends posted all these cars from the '90s, and you'd see like, S14s on like 20